Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone who risked their lives in truth and sincerity to spread this word to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, as well as the men who preach and teach the likewise doctrine with no compromises, no changes, and those that are not mixing it to fix it. This is your brother Batakala Yahawada from the GMS camp here in Chicago. And I'm back at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And we're going to go into history again today, as I usually like to do. And before we start this lesson, I just want to get this quick scripture real quick. Two quick scriptures, actually. And then we're going to get on with the video. So we're going to start with Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh power. Salakia. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? So, that's pretty plain and that's pretty simple. The Lord, Yahweh Bashem, or Salakia, the Lord, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, okay? Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shai being our Lord and Savior, the Messiah, properly called Hamashiach. We were created to be like them, special, separate from all these other heathens, okay? Which is why none of these other heathens have no swag. They don't really make or invent anything, which is why they live in hovels and do dumb shit like roll around and shit and stuff like that, all right? It's because they're not made as people to be unto the Lord, okay? They're just here to be servants. We just went off and now they're above us because of things we did. But in our natural mind state, in our proper mind state, and really not even that, even in this low, destroyed state that we're in, they still need us to make their society great, okay? They can't do anything without us. Let me get this next scripture. And it's Deuteronomy 28 and 37, or Salakia. Yes, Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Okay, now, like I said, it's been established that we are a holy people, the Israelites, separate from all other people, made to be unto the Lord. Okay, but guess what? When we went off, we had to pay a price, and we are still actively paying that price now. The Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're coming to the end of that road, and Lord willing, all the men that are preaching this word in truth and sincerity, myself included, be of the men that are redeemed and can return to that place of being unto the Lord without having to suffer death by pain. But like I said, we're being punished right now, and this is the punishment that we're going through. Or a part of the punishment that we're going through, because really it's far greater than this and far more nuanced than this, but just for the sake of time, we're just going to go right here. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. Okay, so they're going to call you a savage. They're going to call you an animal. They're going to say you weren't civilized. Okay, the elder from Hawaii, Gabar Yahawada, very strong in the spirit, very mighty brother, always on fire. One of his lessons is actually what inspired this lesson right here. Okay, he went into how these Edomites, they try to minimize the things that not only the Northern Kingdom was doing while they were on this side of the planet, but really, we all know they try to minimize everything that Jake does. But in the video that I was watching on his channel, GMS Hawaii Ba, and if you're not subscribed to that channel, you need to do yourself a favor and get over there and get fed, because that brother is really in the spirit, and he, only I can hope to be like that one day. You know what I'm saying? He's really doing his thing over there, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But in that video, some Edomite was on camera pretty much going into how quote-unquote Native American culture is not really anything, and it doesn't have anything to do with what American culture is today, thus making it irrelevant, basically. And that's all bullshit, because like I said before, all of these, and the elder from Hawaii goes into this ad nauseum, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. Please just go and subscribe to the channel, GMS Hawaii Ba, and he can take care of you over there. But inventions, the people who actually put the labor in to build this place, the people that actually made the fields bear fruit, these are all Jakes, okay? A lot of Northern Kingdom and a lot of Southern Kingdom, okay? Really all of Northern Kingdom and all of Southern Kingdom. We all went into bondages together, all right? And those that are not on this side of the world going through the bondage, that are scattered abroad, are still going through bondage where they are, okay? And Lord willing, we can get into that in another lesson. But let's get to the video now. Okay, so I'm gonna play a video here, and this is going into the quote unquote Aztec city state, really the tribe of Issachar. And it was not only Issachar down there, I'm sure that the tribe of Zebulon was intermixed with them, and probably some Gadites, some Reubenites, Jake is Jake, okay? I'm not going to say that it's this tribe or that tribe. Now, the tribe of Issachar more than likely was the head of that conglomerate known as the Aztecs, but as we know, Jake mixes and mingles, Jake moves around, so just to say that it was just Issachar down there putting in work is irresponsible. But this video is going to go into the city Tenochtitlan, which is in the location where modern day Mexico City is built at right now.
By 1324 AD, the Aztecs had finally reached their promised land, an island in the middle of a lake. In this most unlikely of sites, they would somehow build Tenochtitlan, one of the most awesome cities the world had ever seen. But how could a city built on a small island hold a population that would soon swell to 250,000 people?
And real quick, there goes the disingenuousness of this Edomite. See, the way he just said that will make you think that there was already an island in the middle of this lake. And that is not the case, okay? These Issacharites literally went into the middle of a lake and built an entire city. And we're not talking about some small city. This is a booming metropolis. They're going to go into the scale of this city in a few seconds in the video. Let me see if I want to get a quick one real quick. Let me just get the next one queued. Salakia. I think that's in the Apocrypha. Salakia. Here we go. Okay, and I'm just going to get this one quick. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Like I said, this Edomite, he's going to tell you that there was already an island in the middle of that lake. And as we know, these Edomites, they do nothing but talk bullshit, all right? And they're going to say that to minimize the miracle or the majesty of the things that those Issacharites and all those other Jakes did down there through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, okay? And just a quick statement, though, because I don't want to glamorize these. It's beautiful to know what our people did in the past, but it's also important to make the point that although they were doing all of these things and the Lord allowed them to do all of these things, they were still in a state of going off, okay? They weren't doing what they had to do all the way to the letter of the law. And when we dealing with this truth and we dealing with the law and we dealing with doing things according to the way Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai want them to be, 99% is not going to cut it, man. Okay, and they weren't doing things 100% of the way that they needed to be doing it, which is why those conquistadors came over and broke them down. All right, but let's continue.
using the simple but ingenious method of pounding stakes into the lake bed.
Real quick, too. Real quick. See, they like to paint these pictures and they'll show them only walking around in drawers to try and make them seem savage. Once again, that's also bullshit, okay? Even when Jake goes to work, Jake is fly, man. It's not fly to walk around in drawers all day and have these wild-ass haircuts, okay? Jake is fly. So these depictions of what they telling you these Aztecs look like, that's bullshit.
Pushing them together with reeds, the Aztecs.
And another thing I want to say as well is that they want to make it seem like the lake that they built the city on and where the portion of the lake that the city was built on was just in ankle deep water to make it seem like it's not that big a deal. That's also bullshit. Okay, the city was in the middle of the lake. All right, middle of the lake. Not ankle deep water by the shore, middle of the lake.
Poured in mud and rocks to literally build themselves more land. They expanded their small island into a vast 2,500 acres. When the Spanish conquistadors first saw the Aztec city in 1519, they were amazed.
All right, let me get this next one real quick. You know what? Actually, one more time. I just got to go back. Actually, what do I want to get? Do I want to get, I think that's Micah. Let me see. Salakia. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Salakia. Here we go. Because it says they were amazed. And that makes sense, you know. We're an amazing people, and this is going to explain that right here. Okay. Salakia. All right, here we go. This is Matthew 5:13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Okay? So these Edomites, they came over here and they saw the miracle or the majesty of this city built in the middle of a lake. And you can see in this depiction here that this city is not close to the shore. It's clearly in the middle of the lake. So that picture that they showed right before this one, where the Aztecs really, like I said, really all Jakes, really Issachar, probably some Zebulon and other tribes mixed together. But when they showed them trying to build the city or building the city and they were in knee deep water, that's bullshit, man. This city was in the middle of a lake, man.
There in the center of the lake was this gleaming white city. It was something they had never seen before. And for us, we could almost imagine as Dorothy looking at at Oz for the first time. It was far larger at 250,000 people than any city they had ever seen in Europe.
Hey, man, so that savage narrative, that's bullshit, man. These heathens came over and they couldn't believe what they saw. And this guy wants to glamorize it and say that it was like when Dorothy seen Oz and this is how they felt. That's bullshit. Let me show you how they really felt, man. This is how they really felt, man. Woe, this is Micah 2, and I'm going to start at 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Okay? So this is what these Edomites really were thinking when they saw this. They weren't amazed. They were amazed, but they weren't amazed like how Dorothy was.
A teeming metropolis.
Salakia.
A 250,000 people than any city they had ever seen in Europe.
By the 1500s,
See? Now you see how these people are dressed. They got some swag. This is all, and this is back in a time where having clothes with colors on them and things like that, that was a luxury. Okay. Today you can go and you can get a shirt in any color like you want, and you think that it ain't shit and it's not that big a deal. Back during these days, anything that had color like purple, red, orange, green, things like that were extremely expensive. Okay. But guess what? You see everybody in this picture right here is eating though. Okay, we not getting down like these Edomites where only a certain portion of us can eat and then everybody else got to starve with the heathens. No, we didn't get down like that, man. All of these people got colors on. All of these people looking fly, man. All of these people got chains on, man.
Tenochtitlan was a teeming metropolis.
Look at that, man. 2 chains, man.
It held twice the population of London or Rome.
And it held twice the population of London or Rome in the middle of a lake. Okay. I cannot stress how amazing that is. They're building pyramids in the middle of a lake. Okay. And if you look into, because this is where modern day Mexico City is now. If you actually evaluate what's going on in Mexico City right now, the city is sinking into the lake because these Edomites don't understand or fathom how these quote unquote Aztecs were able to do what they did. Okay, since the original people who built that city are no longer the stewards of the city, are no longer presiding over the city, these heathens, they don't understand how they can keep the city afloat. Okay, both literally and figuratively. Let's continue.
Elsewhere around the world, at the height of the Italian Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci had invented a rudimentary tank.
Hey, Leonardo da Vinci, that's bullshit, okay? Just because you draw a picture of something doesn't mean that you invented anything, okay? They didn't build, none of these inventions that they talk about that he built were ever made physically and you put into practical use. Therefore, he didn't invent shit. All he did was draw a bunch of cartoons, man.
In Germany, Martin Luther tries to reform the Roman Catholic Church.
Martin Luther was a Jake, okay? So-called Negro.
And is excommunicated. While in Japan, the performance of no drama had reached the height of its popularity.
All the samurai and any other Japanese person that has any salt is a Jake, okay? All samurai. Any Japanese person with salt is a Jake. You can clearly tell the difference between a Jake, Japanese person, or really any Jake anywhere in comparison to these heathens. Okay? Give you an example. I just started working security at this nail salon that's run by people from Vietnam. Now, for those of us that know, a lot of these Vietnamese are Jakes even prior to the Vietnam War when Jake went over there as GIs and popped a lot of the women. Even before that, a vast majority of those Vietnamese were Jakes. And what proves that point, or one of the things that proves that, is the way that the Viet Cong or the Northern Vietnam Army fought against the Americans during the Vietnam conflict, okay? The tactics that they used are tactics that Jake has used always. And you can go into the book of the Maccabees, first Maccabees especially, and you can see those tactics that the Maccabees were using in the way that the Vietnamese were fighting. The North Vietnamese, the Viet Cong, you can see that in the way that they were fighting, okay? But when you look at these Edomites or these other heathens, when they go to war, they don't fight like that, okay? They don't use guerrilla tactics. They don't use tactics like that. They just line up and fight each other, okay? Or Esau likes to go into cities and attack civilians. That's how he does war. All right, let's keep going. Oh, but like I said, Salaki, I forgot to get this point across. One example of how you can tell if somebody's a heathen or not is I work at this nail salon. Now you can clearly look and see which of these Vietnams are really Moabites and which of them are really Jakes. For example, there's one woman who she does the nails in there, And this lady comes to work Gucci down, meaning she wears all Gucci, got chains on. I'm talking about real jewelry, real diamonds, shining. Okay. Jake always got to shine. Jake always got to be shining. This lady is on her knees scrubbing feet, but yet and still she's going to be wearing, she wears all Gucci down, man. Gucci shoes, Gucci outfit, jewelry. That's real, not the fake shit. Okay. And there's more than one of them in there, man. It was also one of the dudes. He got his shirt buttoned down to the third button, you know, trying to show a little titty, got his chains out. You know what I'm saying? Only Jake does that kind of shit, man. Real Asians don't do that. And really, and no heathens do that, man. When you see a heathen putting Gucci on or a heathen putting on some high fashion, they look square wearing that shit, man. They don't look fly with it. They can't do it. It's a certain spirit that Jake has, and you can't fake it. Let's keep going.
The creation of Tenochtitlan demanded a skilled army of thousands of craftsmen. Yet how the Aztecs performed this formidable task of construction remains a mystery.
Here we go. Let's get the next one, because they say it remains a mystery. And I think this is where I want to go to Isaiah. Let me make sure, though. Salaki, I should have took better notes. That's my fault. We'll make sure we do better next time, Lord willing. Let me see. Isaiah. Okay, here we go. So this is Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. Okay, now, before I go and elaborate on why I pulled that out, I just want to make a point and say that no, these people are not on the level of Yahweh. They are not on the level of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. But like I said at the beginning, Salakia, like the scripture said at the beginning, Israelites were created to be a special people unto the Lord, okay? So although we are not on the same level, never will be on the same level, don't even come close to 1% of being on the same level as Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, we are still above these heathens, and the things that we do are a marvel to these heathens, just like the things that Yahweh Shai do every day are a marvel to us, okay? And a lot of things that we really are very, I'm not going to put a number on it, but most of the things that Yahweh Shai do can't be fathomed by us as Israelites, and especially can't be fathomed by heathens, okay? But that even since the Lord has chosen us to be a people unto himself, we get to have that characteristic on a small level when it comes to interacting with these heathens. The things that we do does not make sense to them. They don't understand how we can do it, okay? This Edomite doesn't know how these people, these quote unquote Aztecs, built this city in the middle of a lake. No problems with it sinking. Pyramids on the lake, floating in the middle. They don't know how they did that. Just like they don't know how the pyramids in Egypt were built. Just like they don't know how Machu Picchu in Peru was built. They don't have answers to none of this. Why? Because our ways are not their ways, man. The Lord gave us a special lot. They can't even mentally fathom that, okay? Let's continue.
For though the Aztecs used the wheel for their children's toys, they put it to no practical use. Without the wheel or beasts of burden, how could the Aztecs build on such a monumental scale?
The answer to that question is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And like I said, these Aztecs, quote unquote, were going off at this time, and the Lord still blessed them to be fruitful. So how much more when we get our shit together and start following the law, statutes, and commandments the way that we're supposed to, man? How much more? Because this is something that people wouldn't be able to do right now. Just like I said, Mexico City is actively sinking into this lake, okay?
Experts theorize the answer lies in the ingenious concept of the city itself.
And you heard what Esau's favorite word, theorize, okay? All of these, I call them nigger theories, because Esau is the real nigger. Esau loves coming up with bullshit nigger theories, and then he wants to pass them off as law, as fact, okay? The fact is that you don't know how they did it, so just shut your fucking mouth, man, and appreciate greatness. Let's continue. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me go back. Look at this picture right here, because a lot of these
Experts
so-called
theorize the
Mexicans, they don't
answer
want
lies in
to
the
accept
ingenious
the
concept
fact
of
that
the
they
city
are
itself.
the same as the Judite. Look, hold on. Here we go. Let me stop here. Now look at this gentleman all the way on the right with the red garment. And these are garments, y'all. Okay? This thing that this guy, this quote unquote dark-skinned individual is wearing, that's a garment. Just like the men of the Lord wear on the highways and byways, okay? Why? Because these are Jakes. So this brother, this man has a garment on, and look at how dark his skin is, okay? You would call this guy so-called black. You would tell this guy today that you came from Africa, okay? Well, guess what? This guy was over here on this side of the world. Because why? Because we're the same people, and color doesn't got nothing to do with this. And really, some of these, I'm not going to say that everybody that was over here was dark like this at one point, but they sneak, because Jake comes in all colors, speckled bird. That's real. Even with or without the scattering, the fact that Jake comes in all shapes and sizes, all shades, all hues. That's fact. That's been what it is. Okay. But like I said, they would tell you today that this individual right here with this red garment on with the white border on the inside, right before you get to the end with the little earring, right all the way to the right over here with his hand out, they'll tell you that that's African today. Okay? African American. No, man. Okay? All of these natives, all of these native Hispanics, all of these Native Americans, quote unquote, a lot of them was what you would call today so-called black. Okay? They didn't look like Mongoloids. And really, when I look at this picture, I don't see anybody that looks like a Mongoloid at all, man. So we know that Mongoloid is bullshit. Just like the Elder Malcolm likes to say, false science, pseudoscience. That Mongoloid, that's bullshit. Okay? Let's continue.
Like Venice, Italy, Tenochtitlan was crisscrossed by an intricate network of canals. Could the Aztecs have used thousands of canoes to move the tons of material?
Here we go. Could, maybe, theory. Here we go with the nigger theories again, man. Y'all just say you don't got the answers, man. Just say that they was doing things that's too great for you to fathom, and just move forward. I don't know why y'all gotta come up with these nigger theories. I understand why you do it, but man, y'all got the power. Be a fucking man, okay? Stop coming up with these nigger theories, man. Try and be better yourself. Fucking clowns.
Materials needed for the city's construction? However Tenochtitlan was completed, the Spaniards were awed by this surprisingly modern city.
Look at that. He'll even look at the slight disrespect. Surprisingly modern. Bullshit. Okay, you people are surprisingly dirty. Fucking Edomites gonna talk about surprisingly modern, bro. Get the fuck out of here, man.
When they got closer to the city and began to walk down the causeways, they were astounded at how clean the streets were in the city.
Hey, just like I said, man, you a dirty animal, man. And it's really disrespectful that you will try and compare Venice to Tenochtitlan, because Venice was fucking dirty. And let me just tell you something, man. Jake built Venice too, okay? Quote unquote Moors, who are really Southern Kingdom Israelites, and maybe a few of the Northern Kingdom Israelites that stayed back, they the ones that built Venice, man. Not you fucking Edomites. Once you Edomites got a hold of Venice, it started smelling like shit and started being dirty, because you dirty, man. All you Edomites are fucking dirty. All you heathens are fucking dirty, man. Cold contrary to the cleanness and the sauce and drippiness of the Israelites, man. You're dirty and dusty, man.
In fact, refuse was taken out of the city daily.
And notice he don't say it's islands of garbage floating around on the island. Ain't none of that shit going on when we in charge, man. Y'all the ones that just create garbage and filth, man. We don't do that.
They were astounded at the reuse of everything. They were master ecologists. The way everything was so carefully painted and ornamented, and how orderly Aztec life was.
Order. Where do you think they got that order from? What do you think? What do you think built the foundation of that order in their life? The laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's the only thing that will establish order on this earth, man. Because this Edomite, what he got you thinking is order is really bullshit. Everything is backwards here, and we're not going to get into the grave details of the bullshit that he's got going on. We all know, okay, and we'll save that for another video. But this is, he said, look at the words that they use. That's really the Lord putting the spirit on these heathens to say the truth without saying it out front, so that, you know, when he puts the spirit on individuals, that they can hear that and understand, okay? The only reason that these Aztecs had order in their society is because they followed the laws, statutes, and commandments, at least loosely. Like I said, they were going off, and that's why the conquistadors came over and got them. But the foundation of their society is rooted in the laws, statutes, and commandments. If it wasn't, they wouldn't have had order. Let's continue.
To precisely determine the exact days for planting and harvesting, the Aztecs established an accurate calendar, systematically charting the heavens.
Okay, now here we go. Because like I said, this Edomite, he'll hide the truth, but he's not going to just come out and say it. But the Lord puts the spirit on him to say what the truth is, and those that hear, and those that don't, won't hear it. Okay, so let me go to First Chronicles real quick, and this will be the last one that we get. Then we can close the video out, finish watching this little clip, and keep it moving. 12 and 32, because he said that they charted the heavens. They knew when it was time to plant. They knew when it was time to harvest. So let's see what this says here. All right, here we go. This is First Chronicles 12 and 32. And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Okay, so the reason why they knew when they needed to plant, when they needed to harvest, when they needed to go to war, when they needed to do this, is because, like the scriptures say, and like this Edomite just said, they looked at the stars and were able to create a calendar. That was one of the gifts that Yahweh Shai gave to the Issacharites. That was their lot, to be able to read the stars, to be able to measure time, to be able to understand when certain things needed to be done. Okay, and really the Issacharites were the ones who navigated all of the other 10 tribes from the northern kingdom over to this side of the world using this same method, studying the stars, understanding we should leave now, we should stop now, we should go in this direction, we should go in that direction. Okay, Issachar was really placed in a position to be in charge of those decisions. Why? Because their lot was to read the stars and understand the times. Let's continue.
Aztec medicine was also highly sophisticated, with over 100 herbal remedies for specific ailments.
No opioids, no synthetic pills, nothing created in a lab. Okay, herbs of the field, man. All you need is what the Lord gives you, man. You don't need all of this bullshit that Esau is creating, okay? These things that Esau is creating really just turn you into an addict so that you have to keep spending money, all right? These people, these quote-unquote Aztecs were a strong people, okay? And they only had herbs to cure their ailments. They didn't have opioids. They didn't have hydrocodone. They didn't have none of that shit because you don't need that. All of that is created to put you in chains to the pharmaceutical system. Let's keep going.
As impressive as the Aztecs' scientific achievements, however, was their creative genius. To an extraordinary degree, they viewed every aspect of life as an opportunity for creative expression.
Why? Because we are the salt of the earth. That's why they're so creative. That's why their creativity was on fire. Okay? And it's the same to this day, man. The only people that you see doing anything creative are Jake. If you see any of these heathens doing something, it's either that they look like a heathen and they're really a speckled bird and a Jake, or if they're truly a heathen, they stole it from a Jake, man. None of these heathens got no creativity. They got no flavor, man. I don't give a fuck who they think they are. Okay, all of these people who you think are Chinese and invented shit, or who you think are from India and invented shit, those are really Israelites that got scattered, man. Okay, the Lord only made one people unto himself. All these other people can't do nothing that we can do, and that includes being creative and having that high level and having creativity that's a cut above. Okay.
Aztec society is known for its militarism, its interest in
It's known for its militarism because the Lord is a man of war. But this heathen is about to try and say that they were sacrificing humans and shit like that. And I find that highly unlikely, man. I really do. This Edomite comes and he likes to make up narratives, and he'll say that they were sacrificing humans to justify what they did when they killed all of them, or a vast majority of them. They didn't kill all of them because you can't put an end to any of the people. But when they went into this city and sacked the city and were raping women, killing children, killing men, bushwhacking people, pretending to be people's friends, and then stabbing them in the back, this is what they used to justify that. Oh, they were sacrificing humans. That's bullshit, man.
and sacrifice, so that there's a tendency to look at all Aztec life as having been brutal. But in fact, there was a rich Aztec tradition of poetry, of music, and of drama.
All right. And that's it, you know. But I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone, as well as the men who preach and teach the likewise doctrine with no compromise, not mixing it to fix it. Okay. Shalom and salutations to all you Akim and few Akwath that may be listening and learning. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Okay. And yes, man. Kwam Yasharala Abba Babal, man. Understand who you are and understand that these individuals, these quote unquote Aztecs, what they were doing is still on a low level, man. Why? Because they weren't keeping the laws 100%. Okay. Now, just because I don't believe that they were sacrificing human beings doesn't mean that they weren't going off. Okay. There were things that they were doing that was off, and that's why they had to pay the price and get thrown down by this Edomite. Okay. But how much more greater will we be when everybody decides that we're going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments? And you know what? Ultimately, only a remnant are going to decide to do that on this side. And then once everybody comes back on the other side, after all of these things happen and the kingdom is established, then we're not going to have to worry about people making wrong choices as far as Jake, because Jake is going to be right. The Lord is going to put the laws inside of us. OK, but like I said, how much greater will we be when that day comes if these individuals who were going off were able to do what they were doing? And yes, they did apply the scriptures to their life. They did apply the law to their life, but it's portions that they wasn't doing. OK, they weren't coming with 100%. OK, 99.9 is not enough. And y'all need to understand that, man. We're not in a position to be saying what we are and what we aren't going to do. And those of you who think that that's the case, you're going to pay the price, and it's going to be a hard price to pay. OK, but like I said, Shalom and Abad Babal.